The Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs stands ready to serve Wisconsin veterans, their families, and their survivors. With our partners like your local county veteran service officer, we can help access the benefits you've earned and the support you need. For more information, please visit wisvets.com. That's wisvets.com. Message sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs.
Built Right, one location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
It might be showtime in LA, but in Milwaukee, there's a new star on the rise.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. What a start for the Miz here this afternoon. Listen to this crowd.
The Brewers and the Dodgers face off in Milwaukee. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:35 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, July 9th. Your top story, waiting another 10 days to learn her fate.
I'm Jessica Ty. Strangers helping in the search after the floods.
Partly cloudy today, no chance of rain in the forecast, a high of 81, 76 near the lake. Clear tonight and cooler, a low of 61 degrees. It's 66 and partly sunny in Milwaukee. At 12:01 from the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, a Milwaukee County judge accused of obstruction will have to wait a little longer for a decision.
The federal case against suspended Milwaukee Judge Hannah Dugan is still moving forward, but a final decision could come soon. At a hearing Wednesday, U.S. District Judge Lynn Edelman said he'll meet with attorneys again in 10 days for a status update and could rule then on whether to dismiss the case entirely. The defense filed a motion to dismiss back in May, arguing Dugan is protected by judicial immunity, but a magistrate judge recently recommended the case proceed. Both sides now appear focused on moving the case forward, whether that means a plea deal or taking it to trial. At the Milwaukee Federal Courthouse, Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Since the start of the year, violent crime has gone down more than 10% overall in the city of Milwaukee. But homicides, rape, and human trafficking are up. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says he's added more funding to police in the upcoming city budget to address the issues at hand.
It's enough funding for 3 classes, 65 officers in each class, which is the max that we can possibly produce out of our academy in Milwaukee. We still are making those investments. I want all those spots, those recruitment spots, to be full. So we're making those investments. We're going out. We're asking people in the community to be a part of the solution to join the Milwaukee Police Department.
So far this year, 3 Milwaukee police officers have been hurt. 1 was killed.
Crews in Central Texas are using backhoes and bare hands to dig through massive piles of debris as the search continues for over 160 people believed to be missing after raging floods last week Friday. Kelsey Cravey says her mother and stepfather were rescued from their mobile home. The couple didn't realize it at the time, but their home was already floating down the river when 3 strangers got them out of danger.
They opened the window and started shining flashlights outside of the window, just screaming, hollering, and finally they heard a semi-truck honking the horn, and that's when they started screaming even louder, "Hey, we're home, we're in here, we're in the home, we're in the home." And 2 men said, "Okay, we'll get you out."
Over 100 people have died from the floods. That number is expected to rise.
Changes at the top of X, formerly known as Twitter. The CEO is stepping down. ABC's Sherry Preston has the update.
Linda Yaccarino was handpicked 2 years ago by Elon Musk to run the social network. The former head of NBC Universal's ad business writes on the platform, "It was the opportunity of a lifetime, and she is immensely grateful to Musk for entrusting her with the responsibility of protecting free speech and turning the company around." On X, Elon Musk thanked Yaccarino for her service.
Musk hired Yaccarino, a veteran ad exec, to focus mainly on running the company's business operations, leaving him to focus on product design and new technology.
Julie Esch announces her departure from MCTS. Sandra Kellner will take her place and will speak at a meeting later today. MCTS faces nearly $11 million in budget deficit, due in part to bloating overtime hours and riders just not paying for their fare. Meanwhile, a union representing bus drivers is planning to vote today on whether or not to authorize a strike. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Lots of green here this afternoon. The Dow currently up about 65 points at 44,306. NASDAQ up $1.25 at 20,542. S&P 500 is up about 20 points today at 6245. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite, financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Get out the brooms. The Brewers are going for a sweep today. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
News sponsored by Ellie Mental Health. Visit elliementalhealth.com. Here's your Mental Health Minute.
To better understand yourself and live a more fulfilling life, maintaining mental health is essential. It's every bit as important as your physical health. I'm Kelly from Ellie Mental Health. If you're worried about cost holding you back, please be aware insurance can and should pay for mental health therapy. The barriers to mental health treatment inspired owners Lisa and Jacob to start Ellie Mental Health. Our therapists are real people who, like you, have hard days too. They have lots of experience in disordered eating, grief, mood disorders, children and families, substance use disorders, trauma, and more. Ellie Mental Health's directors, myself and Dawn, are licensed clinical social workers with over 30 years of combined experience. Our therapists address what most don't. The elephant in the room is different for everyone. Let us help you find a therapist you can vibe with and take the first step on your path to improved mental health.
This has been the Mental Health Minute. Come visit Ellie Mental Health in Waukesha for their open house on July 10th. Get started on your mental health journey today at elliementalhealth.com.
Did you know, according to research, a majority of people gain their weight back after stopping those expensive weight loss shots? Don't become another statistic. The doctor-developed Milwaukee weight loss program doesn't just help you lose weight, it helps you keep it off for good. We've helped thousands of people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks and maintain the results long-term. No more yo-yo dieting or weight regain. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi. I dropped 40 pounds. Yes, 40 pounds with Milwaukee Weight Loss. No crazy workouts, none of the meals, kits, or the shakes, and definitely no meds or injections. They helped reset my metabolism, and the weight's actually stayed off now for 6 months. It's been a game changer for me. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. I lost 40, as I said, in about 6 months. Schedule your free consultation today by calling 262-393-2334 or go online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Again, that's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers go for a sweep of the Dodgers this afternoon at American Family Field. Jose Quintana looking to pick up where rookie Jacob Misiorowski left off, striking out 12 Dodgers over 6 innings in Tuesday night's win.
There isn't anything I'm not impressed with. His poise, his energy, his spirit, everything about the kid, his humility. I'm in. I like the kid.
It's Brewers manager Pat Murphy. Coverage of tonight's game, or today's game, begins at 12:35. Packers begin training camp 2 weeks from today, and believe it or not, the first preseason game will be played 1 month from today against the Jets at Lambeau Field.
Let's go ahead right now and check out the roads for you with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Handful of disabled vehicles out on the system, most not causing any slowdowns. Good news there. We do have one incident, I-43 North at Hampton Avenue West. Right lane is closed right now due to a fire. I can see that the crews are cleaning it up. There is a tow truck out there, but the bottom line is this is still out there right now. Right lane closed due to a fire. And that's an area where you already have construction barrels out, and it can be slow going. So just a heads up, if you're headed that way, I-43 North at Hampton Avenue West, there is a car fire that they need to clean up.
Partly cloudy, nice day today, a high of 81 degrees, 76 near Lake Michigan. Clear tonight, a little cooler, low of 61. Thursday looks great with a high of 82 under mostly sunny skies, a little cooler near the lake. Friday, humid, partly cloudy, chance of some afternoon or evening thunderstorms, and a high of 83. 66 and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
A truncated version of Wisconsin's Midday News. We got Brewers baseball, and coming off back-to-back wins against the team with the most wins in the National League. We're kind of itching to get this game started. A little afternoon affair at American Family Field after an incredible night last night. Just incredible.
What a blast to be watching the Brewers right now.
Yeah, no doubt. The team is playing at a very high level, right on the Cubs' heels in the division, but playing great baseball with a young flamethrower who is turning heads And because people can't see his pitches. That's the main thing with Jacob Mizorowski. There it goes again.
I'm going to do that every single time we talk about the Miz.
You should.
That's his fastball.
12:09 and WTMJ, tracking some big stories here into the afternoon.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
The death toll keeps rising down in Texas after devastating flash floods on Friday. Officials in Kerr County just wrapped up a press conference. They now know of at least 119 people who are dead. More than 160 are still missing. We're also starting to hear more from survivors, including kids who were at some of these camps along the Guadalupe River. Baden Davis survived the flooding at a camp with his brother. He says the cabin was flooded to the ceiling.
Thank goodness the counselors and counselors in training helped all the campers, or most of the campers in that cabin, to the rafters.
So scary for them. The boy's mom was elated and emotional, of course, when reuniting with her sons.
It was a rush of all of the emotions, from intense gratitude to see them, hold them as tight as I could, try my best to hold it together and not cry because I didn't want to scare them anymore.
Local officials brought up the subject of a warning system about 20 times since 2016, but nothing changed. And that's something we talked with ABC's Jim Ryan about earlier this week. It's, that stuff costs money, and sometimes it sounds like a great idea, then it goes to committee and goes to the council, and then they say, we can't do it, though. Officials down in Kerr County are getting a little heated, too. Obviously, they have an incredibly tough job to do right now, but the media is pressing them for answers and being prepared for the storm and the communication during those overnight hours. I was watching the press conference before the show, and it was interesting because you had the mayor who was talking, not for a long time, and all of a sudden, he said to the reporters, basically like, stop yelling. And they weren't really yelling, but it was one of those, all of a sudden he's done, and then the reporters yell a question basically to try to get their question answered, so to speak. And one person in the media, I think it was the ABC News reporter, it certainly sounded like him, but I couldn't see it. He said, but you're only allowing the media to ask 3 questions to the mayor. And then the mayor said, well, you're in Kerrville, and we're going to do it my way.
Wow.
So it's getting a little testy now.
Well, members of Wisconsin's urban search and rescue team are expected to arrive at Texas today to assist with search and recovery efforts and assisting the flood victims. The group is equipped with medical supplies. They've got an ATV. They have 3 search dogs along with them. This includes firefighters from Janesville, Green Bay, and Menominee, leaving from Volkfield on Tuesday en route to Texas. So how does this all work? How is it that a group from Wisconsin always ends up being a part of an emergency situation outside of the state? Well, it all goes back to this Emergency Management Assistance Compact. It's called EMAC for short. EMAC has a 25-plus year history of being the nation's preeminent mutual aid system. So authorities in Texas submit a request for assistance through EMAC with very specific needs called out. And in this case, Wisconsin, they are with EMAC. They see the request and say, we've got a crew that fits, and off they go. The request from Texas was for 14 days. I did speak with the public affairs director for Wisconsin Emergency Management. She said it could be lengthened, it could be shortened. They are expected to arrive tomorrow. We're hoping to have somebody on from down there, but cell service is very tricky in that area. They've got an incredibly difficult job to do. They've got canines with them. No easy task. We want them to do their work, but could be down there for upwards of 2 weeks, maybe longer, pending the situation.
Yeah, it's emotional work and hazardous work, too. Well, could more rules be relaxed at our country's airports? Yesterday, we told you the Transportation Security Administration is going to let you keep your shoes on while going through security. Now people are hoping more changes are on the horizon. ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Now some are questioning whether more rules should be relaxed. A New York Post editorial saying, all hail the end of TSA's idiotic shoe rule. Could toothpaste freedom be next? Homeland Security says it's now evaluating the rules surrounding liquids and the requirements on removing belts and coats. The agency saying it will test ways to further streamline the screening process.
It'll be interesting to see what happens next. There is some inconsistency among airports when it comes to the liquids rule. You're supposed to take your bag of liquids out of your carry-on when going through security, but some airports don't make you do that because I always try to be quick and be speedy when I'm going through security, as speedy as I can be, taking care of myself. So that's one thing I'm always going to do. Right away, I go into that top part of my bag, I take out my bag with the liquids in it. And I have gone to numerous airports where like, no, you don't need to do that. I'm like, oh, I don't? Okay, great. I'm glad. But still, there's definitely inconsistency. So it'll be really interesting to see if they change that one. But man, would I love to see the liquids rule changed, because it is hard sometimes, especially for women. I mean, you bring a little 3.4 ounce hairspray and you're gone for 3-4 days. That thing goes fast.
Yeah, right. You're gone, and you're searching Walgreens for the little travel-sized everything, and sometimes it's just not quite enough.
And then sometimes it's $20 at travel size.
Or you take your full-size shaving cream, put it in your checked bag, if you have a checked bag, and then you arrive at your destination, and you find that it's exploded all over your socks and polo
Did that actually
shirts.
happen to you once?
Maybe at a time in my life. 3 or 4 times. 12:15 on WTMJ. ABC's Jim Ryan has been covering the story in Texas. In fact, he spent the better part of 2 days in Kerrville. He knows exactly what rescue teams are working through right now. We'll get the latest from Jim coming up.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. If you have big questions about inflation, money, and your retirement goals, join me Tuesday, July 15th with your questions as I co-host an Instant Insight webinar with Annex Wealth Management's Chief Economist, Brian Jacobson. It's July 15th at 9 a.m. It's free, but you must register. Go to WTMJ.com, click the Instant Insight Register Now button, or check out events at AnnexWealth.com. Tuesday, July 15th, 9 a.m. It's free, but you need to register.
Hey, thanks, John. Sounds like fun. Potawatomi Sportsbook. You got to check it out. If you've not been to Potawatomi in a minute, if you check out the Sportsbook, you will likely make a return visit. Nothing like it. In fact, they just celebrated about a year in business at Potawatomi Sportsbook, and they are off to a great start. Fantastic food coming out of the kitchen, great drinks. They've got a VIP deck if you want a more private gathering. You can do it anywhere you are in the sportsbook. You're going to see that 2,000-square-foot video wall. I've never seen anything quite like it. It's curved on the sides, but your viewing angle, it's incredible. There's really no difference. You get a great, clear view anywhere you're situated in that beautiful Potawatomi Sportsbook. While you're at it, grab some food from any one of a number of different restaurants. If you want to go the street taco route, you could do it. Food truck kind of stuff, sushi, steaks, you name it. It's Potawatomi Hotel Casino in Milwaukee. Check out more info online at paysbig.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
As host of the Fix-It Show, I've talked to countless homeowners worried about musty basements, water seepage, and foundation cracks. And my answer is always the same. Call Accurate Basement Repair. They're not just Wisconsin's #1 rated foundation and waterproofing team. They deliver real peace of mind. I've recommended them for years because I know the quality of their work. And more importantly, the integrity behind it.
Wow, we're grateful for that trust, David. Every home we restore, we treat like our own. And that's what Accurate is all about.
They're not just good, they're accurate.
Well, more than 170 people remain missing, and the confirmed death toll climbing to above 110 after the flash floods devastated part of central Texas on the 4th of July. ABC's Jim Ryan spent better part of 2 days in Kerrville, Texas. He knows what rescue teams are dealing with. And Jim, what is the confidence level among search and rescue teams that there are any survivors among those who are missing?
Oh, it's declining. I mean, the confidence that anybody's out there, certainly there's hope that people might be alive, but no one has been found alive. No survivors since Friday, the day of the flash flood itself. So I think the expectation is that from here on out, it's a matter of recovering the bodies of those who were lost, trying to bring some comfort, some answers to the loved ones who are waiting to find out what happened to those people, Greg.
Jim, how dangerous is it for these search teams to go through all the debris? Because from the looks of it, when you see this video, when you see these pictures, it looks like it's just piles and piles and piles.
Exactly. So climbing around in that stuff is dangerous. The chance of falling, slipping, it's very muddy, it's slippery. And so there is danger. There are snakes out there. There are other creatures, animals, spiders and things that can cause you harm. So it is dangerous work. It's hot work, sweaty work, warm in the afternoon with high humidity. And then again, there's always the chance of more flooding if heavy rain comes again. So it's difficult work, and it is dangerous work for those 400 or so first responders who are out there doing this job, Jessica, of trying to find answers for the loved ones of the victims of this flash flood.
Speaking of rain, are some storms expected today? Because these search teams could certainly use some dry weather.
Yeah, for sure, and they will get some dry weather, and so not in the immediate forecast. There isn't a chance for some rain for a few days at least, and that should help out in terms of mitigating the threat of new flooding. We've seen new flooding in New Mexico, of course, in the Rio Doce area, where 3 people have been killed in just the last 24 hours. So, this is not going to be it. This will be a bad year in terms of flash flood deaths.
Jim, you spent over 30 hours in Kerrville, Texas. Did you note that the water levels were starting to recede at all? Obviously, a flood pushes through. There's this incredible surge and incredible force that carried so many things and people away with it. Has it receded to a relatively normal level, or did it merely widen the channel of the Guadalupe River, and that's sort of the new path of the water?
Well, no, it is back down in the channel there. I got there on Friday afternoon, not too long after the flood had happened, and waters were still quite high. The Guadalupe has gone back down. It's within its banks, but there is a sort of floodplain beyond the banks that then moves up toward, a couple of hundred yards beyond that. So that's where all these trees and cars and debris have been pushed. The river itself, Guadalupe, is flowing still quite fast. It's dirty. It's kind of mucky from all the stuff that's still being pushed into it. Now, the same holds true for the other rivers that were flooded. The Colorado, the Medina, the Comal, the other rivers that are fed by those similar headwaters. It has reduced quite a bit, but falling into it would not be a good thing to have happen to you because it's still running quite fast.
Jim, this morning I was reading that inspectors signed off on Camp Mystic's emergency plans just days before this catastrophic flooding. What do you know about that?
Well, it's almost just a paperwork signing off on something. Yeah, okay, we've been through this before. We've done this, and the safety, the precautions are in place, and great. So I think they'll be taking a much closer look at that in the future when kids start showing up at these camps. How do we evacuate them? What sort of a warning system will we put in place if things start getting bad? How will we make people know that something's going wrong? Yeah, it's I think this simple perfunctory paperwork issue is going to be followed much more closely in the future with inspections and with training.
ABC's Jim Ryan in Texas covering this devastating story where still over 170 people are missing and the death toll has risen to over 110. Jim, we appreciate your time in covering the story. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Greg.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck builder. Building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. If you've never been to their showroom, it's in Brookfield. It's right off Barker Road. I have been there. Pretty cool place and great people. Geist has been doing it right in the world of garage doors and openers for 70 years. 70 years right there in Brookfield. It's a great business run by great people. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, check out geistdoors.com. Get that party started right there on the website. If you visit the showroom, you'll see what I've seen. Brands like CHI and LiftMaster. Incredible volume of doors and openers in stock and ready to go for you. And if your project requires a custom treatment, they can help you out as well. Don't think twice. Call Geist and visit geistdoors.com.
Tell us a little bit about Innovative Signs.
We're located out in Waukesha. Where we are really focused mostly is manufacturing outdoor electrical signs.
You came to Horicon Bank. How do you think other local businesses can benefit?
When I call, Michelle picks up the phone, and when I email, she responds in a timely manner. A few years ago, I talked to my accountant about shopping around looking for a different bank just to get some alternatives, and he said, absolutely not. You're not going to like working for a big bank. They have a lot more regulations. So that's how we got involved with Cornerstone Bank. When Horicon purchased Cornerstone, we came along for the ride, and it's been great.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Today will be one of the shortest days of the year. The reason why? Because the Earth is spinning faster than usual.
Today, July 9th, will be 1.3 milliseconds shorter than the standard 24 hours. We won't notice it, but scientists are paying attention, and they have been since 2020 when the Earth's rotation picked up speed slightly. It's expected to regulate again, but when is not clear. The shortest day of all was July 5th, 2024, 1.66 milliseconds shorter. On July 22nd and August 5th, the quicker spin and position of the moon will mean shorter days, too, by between 1.3 and 1.51 milliseconds. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Not even the snap of a finger.
Woo! Yeah.
Not even that. Nope. That's too much. That's too much time.
As you think there isn't enough time in the day to get everything done, here we go, losing just over a millisecond.
Do you ever think deeply about just how everything works? Right? Why doesn't the Earth spin faster than it does? Why doesn't it spin slower? Like, it's just incredible. And being the father of two young children, they often ask questions that don't really have an answer, or I am nowhere near smart enough. Like, well, why does it do this? Like, well, I don't know, because of gravity or something like that. I don't know, it's cold on Mars. Like, it's incredible to think about how everything just seems to work the way it does.
Did you ever think there's really some large person just kind of as though it's a basketball on the tip of their finger, it's Earth, and they're just going shoo, shoo, shoo.
Yeah, something like that.
Spinning us?
Right, just spinning it like that. No, it is incredible to think about that, after all these years, right? Millions and millions of years, however long the Earth has been around, that it's still spinning at a relatively consistent rate.
Here we go. Are you feeling faster today?
No. Definitely not. Although Gina has tried to caffeinate me with a refresher. That was nice. Thank you for that.
Refreshing.
Reminder that we've got a short show today. So following our news at 12:30, we go right to Brewers baseball. Should be a great day for a ball game. Feels like a roof open kind of day, or it should be, as the Brewers go for a sweep of the Dodgers after a back-to-back incredible games at American Family Field. So Brewers baseball begins in just a few minutes here on WTMJ, and our podcast is available for you to subscribe to. It's built by Siding Unlimited, the Wisconsin's midday news podcast. Take us with you wherever you go. News is coming up. And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
3 people injured, including a Shorewood police officer, in an early morning incident.
Eric Bilstad.
A major tariff deadline looms this week that has already been pushed back to August 1st.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
Just past Fond du Lac Avenue, all lanes of traffic are closed on northbound Highway 32.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. Your top story, calling for the gun violence to end.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Another round of tariff warning letters sent out today to U.S. trade partners.
President Trump posted on social media letters he sent to the leaders of Algeria, Brunei, Iraq, Libya, Moldova, and the Philippines, informing them of the tariff rates that will go into effect on August 1st for goods imported from those countries into the U.S. The president extended his pause on tariffs. They were set to go into effect today, but now that new deadline is August 1st, as the administration continues talks with trade partners. The president said Tuesday he considers negotiations to be too time-consuming at this point.
ABC's Karen Travers. In Texas, at least 118 are dead following Friday's flash floods in Texas Hill Country. More than 170 others still missing, the majority in hard-hit Kerr County. And in New Mexico, a separate storm last night blamed for at least 3 deaths due to flooding. Ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino today announcing she's leaving the social media platform after 2 years. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. Calling for change after an officer-involved shooting in Shorewood.
34-year-old Victoria Truss was killed in a domestic violence-related homicide in Shorewood last Thursday at her home on Oakland and Bartlett. Her family is calling for the community to do better in regards to gun violence. Truss's grandmother telling media.
Another way to honor her is put the guns down. Now they got to run and get guns and stuff. Put the guns down. Cowards. Because the Bible says you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Her funeral is set for July 18th. Elizabeth Linton, WTMJ News.
Decision, Wisconsin. A Republican businessman announces his candidacy for Wisconsin governor. Bill Berrien is CEO of Pindle Global Precision and Liberty Precision in New Berlin. Berrien joins Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman on the GOP shortlist. Governor Tony Evers has promised an announcement on whether he'll seek a third term in the coming weeks.
Well, protect yourself from ticks while enjoying some time outdoors. In Wisconsin, Lyme disease is the most common illness spread by ticks. Currently, no approved vaccine exists. Medical College of Wisconsin Associate Professor Robert Lockhead tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Good news is that there are 2 clinical trials underway. One of them is an advanced phase 3 trial. If that all goes well by late next year, fingers crossed, we should have a new vaccine approved for use in humans.
The number of Lyme disease cases reported in the state has tripled over the past 15 years.
Public libraries across Wisconsin could lose federal funding.
The Bridges Library System in Waukesha says that's due to the planned elimination of the Institute of Museum and Library Services. The agency is the main source of federal funding for libraries and museums nationwide. Public libraries across the state are asking the public to write a postcard to their congressional leaders, sharing why libraries are important to them and their communities. Free postcards will be available at most public libraries. They'll then be mailed to Washington, D.C. later this month. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
That postcard campaign runs through July 25th.
Brewers baseball next on WTMJ. Should be a great day. Hey, open that roof, right? 81 degrees, a little cooler near the lake. Tonight, mostly clear, a little bit cooler at a low of 61. Beautiful day on Thursday, shaping up with mostly sunny skies. A high of 82 degrees inland. Again, a little cooler near the lake. Enjoy Brewers baseball next here on WTMJ, followed by Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
When you're injured, you want quick, specialized care, not a long ER wait. The orthopedic care specialists at Ortho ASAP treat fractures, sprains, strains, sports injuries, and more right away.